Excuse me. What is up, guys? Welcome, Crypto FUD. And let's jump right into this, guys. I know it is a harsh day today. I understand a lot of stuff going on. Markets have been absolutely tanking across the board. Joshua, what's going on, brother? My day's going good, bro. If you can hear, I have a little raspy voice. The pollen down here has been absolutely killing me. On top of my leverage trades that I've had open, they're not killing me, but it's been hectic out there, guys. So welcome. I'm not going to take up much of your time today, guys. We're not going to try to just beat a dead horse, because I understand today, I'm sure everybody's portfolios, we're just going through it, right? But let's go through this. Flip, what's going on? Let's just run through this here. I'm going to give a little bit of, obviously we're going to run through a little bit of bearish stuff, but we're going to run through some bullish stuff, and maybe hopefully I can give you guys some hopium on everything. So you guys can see that the thumbnail is right now a good time to be purchasing. Is it a good time to be buying right now? Well, you already know how I feel whenever we get into the fear and greed index. When we're in extreme greed, which we just entered as of today, extreme fear, it is honestly, in my opinion, the best time to be buying. And I understand that you guys have probably been dollar cost averaging in as we've been on our way down to these levels. But right now, usually is a big indicator that it's a perfect time to be purchasing. Not financial advice, just my opinion, and where we could be actually finding some kind of a bottom eventually, right? Now, right now, Bitcoin, we are sitting at around 79,400, somewhere around there. We did drop down, making a new low for this cycle so far today at somewhere around that 77,400 level on this chart. Before, as of, what was this, back in just a few days ago, when we had this scary ass day on the 28th of February, so a little bit over a week and a half ago, our low was for this cycle at around 78,002. We obviously have broke below that. And I'm going to be completely frank with you guys. With everything that's going on right now, this is strictly a macro thing. This has nothing to do with Bitcoin. This has nothing to do with anything other than these tariffs. And basically, when are we going to find some kind of resolve in regards to these tariffs? This is what's scaring everybody. This is why not only crypto has been tanking, but also the stock market has been absolutely devastated. Just to name one, today, Tesla closed over almost 15.5% down today, guys. Literally in the last few months, Tesla's down 50%. From where it was just 2 months ago. So to put that in perspective, just understand that right now this is not a crypto thing. This is a full-blown across not only the United States markets, but across the global markets. The Asian market, the European markets, they've all been absolutely devastated in the last week, 2 weeks, however long you want to place it down. So it is what it is, what we're going through right now. But I want you guys to understand that this is not a solely Bitcoin crypto thing. This isn't, crypto's crashing, it's over with. No, everything right now is basically having a big correction in regards to things that we can't control, right? But whenever they do find some kind of resolve, imagine the rebound that we could possibly see. Imagine the rebound. And this is what I'm getting to today, is imagine the rebound on some of these meme coins that have been absolutely destroyed. And we're going to cover a couple, I'm going to bring up some projects. I'm sure you guys have been kind of following them too. A couple of picks that I have in regards to some very good buys, in my opinion, right? So looking at the crypto bubbles for today, you guys can see, across the board, we weren't expecting anything big, right? Pretty much just solid red. Really, when you look at the weekly, this kind of gives you a sense of what's going on right now. You're seeing 25, 30, 40% down on most projects, right? Looking at the monthly, it's even worse. You're seeing 30, 40, even 50% down on a lot of these projects, right? So, it is rough out there, guys. But is this a good time to be taking advantage of some of these sells? Really, and is this the best time to be really accumulating? In my opinion, this is exactly what I've been doing. I've been purchasing, certain meme coins that I've already been accumulating during this big drop, but when we've gotten into this extreme fear now, it's go time now, where I'm literally going in. It's terrifying, yeah, because you're scared. that you're buying right now, how much farther we're gonna head down, right? This is the hard part when we're in these kind of situations. Your emotions, right? They're gonna get in front of you and they're gonna be like, listen, or not listen. They're not talking to you, but it's hard to hit that buy button. Just like on the flip side, when we're rallying like crazy, and it's hard for you to hit that sell button because you're in fear that you're gonna miss out. Now you're in fear that you're gonna be holding the bag while everybody's dumping, right? So it's that struggle that you kind of got to get past as far as emotions, right? And hopefully you make the right decisions, in regards to whatever it may be. I can't sit here and tell you what is going to happen tomorrow or tonight or anything like that, but we've been through stuff like this before. Maybe not exactly with the tariffs, but we've been through situations like this that have been far even worse, right? Where, we've seen central exchanges collapsing right in front of our eyes, and just crazy stuff going on to where you're like, it can't get any worse than this. So it kind of feels like that's the situation that we're in right now, and things could get worse. It could be drawed out, right? Where we're in these levels for the next, 8 weeks, something like that. Something like that could happen. And I pointed this out plenty of times when we've been, what I think, in 2021, where we were down from all-time highs down 50%. We had dropped down and we sat there for literally multiple months. And the market was absolutely devastated. Shout out to Flip for the $20 super chat, bro. Hey, bro, I appreciate that. I really do. Especially hard times like right now where all our portfolios are in the red. And my boy literally still sent that $20 super chat, bro. That right there, bro, you're the GOAT, Flip. You are the GOAT, bro. I appreciate that. And if you have any projects that you want to pull up, dude, let me know. 100%. I'll pause everything and I got you, bro. Thank you again for the kind words and the $20 super chat, bro. I really do appreciate that so much. Carlos, what's going on, brother? Jake's in the house. Forgot crypto being dead. The economy is dead. Gina, what's going on, girl? Hope everything's okay with you, Gina. And again, Flip, thank you again, brother. Cheers. I'm going to take a big sip right here for you, brother. I got that space dust right here. Can you guys hear my raspy voice? The pollen down here in Florida is gotten so bad. It's like the market right now. That's how pollen is down here. Oof. Damon, we're talking about picking up big plays. And Damon said he just sold his Jasmine. And you know what's crazy? Is I was actually going to bring Jasmine's chart up here. But let's pull up Cardano first from my boy Flip. Oof. Right now, not financial advice, but definitely not, in my opinion. This is the absolute, in my opinion, right? Don't come after the messenger. But I feel like right now is the worst time to be selling. The absolute worst time to be selling, right? the worst, in my opinion. But I understand everybody's got different financial situations. The DXY, real quick, I'm going to pull up Cardano Flip. The DXY has been taking a crap as well. This is what's crazy is usually with fear in the market, you usually see like the DXY doing really well. Gold's really stagnant, not really doing anything. It actually has been down a lot in the last like week or two. You're seeing across the board gas, oil down. I don't really know anything other than potentially maybe bonds right now that are doing all right. Nothing right now is safe as far as just in the markets. Excuse me. Whew. I feel like I might be getting a cold too. And I never get sick. It's damn pollen. So Flip, my boy Flip wanted to talk about ADA. ADA right now, bro, so a couple things with ADA. I know you've been bringing it up a lot in the Discord. ADA has been holding pretty strong. It really has compared to a lot of these, and we'll compare them, to a lot of other projects. ADA, you can see, like, when Bitcoin has just a decent day and it looks like we might be coming back up towards the 90,000s, you can see ADA has been jumping and trying to break above a dollar, right? But obviously, like I said last week, for any project that's doing all right now, it's going to be struggling to really continue to keep that momentum going just because the environment that we're in the market right now, right? But if you take advantage of that, I think right now is going to be a beautiful time. So something like ADA at 68 cents, you can see it's at a big spot right now where it's 786, and it's pretty much been trying to hold the 786. It has broke below a few times. Like this right here was a beautiful buy, this 50-cent mark. But you can see where has it been kind of on the daily. It's been closing for the most part above the 786 right here. There was a couple times where it did drop below, like I said, down into these 50s. Those are probably really good times to be just DCAing as far as, just like really buying a big bag, not financial advice. You can see the 200-day moving average right here. It's trying to respect it, right? It did break below the 200 briefly, but you can see as of now, the 200-day moving average for ADA is around 68 cents, and that's exactly where we're at right now. So a couple things I'd say, Flip. If ADA's that one that you were like, because I know how he gets on a project and he's like, this is the project right here. And usually it ends up doing really well. So for this project, Flip, I would say for Cardano, obviously very bullish. It was mentioned in a strategic reserve, right? Particularly Cardano, XRP, Solana, right? These were the top picks in regards to having some kind of a reserve for these projects. So I think this project is going to do very well whenever the markets can get back up. As of right now, I think would be the best time is just to keep an eye on it. And anytime below the 200 is probably going to be some good buys, right? So right now, 68 cents is going to be marking your 200-day moving average. You can see multiple times you've had the opportunity to buy below there, and I'm sure you're going to get it again. Today, you had another opportunity. It looks like somewhere around today, you did drop down to about 65 cents below the 200-day. So anything below that 68 cents as of right now, I would say probably a good little DCA spot to just keep, even if it's in small increments, dollar cost averaging right here at 60 something cents, honestly is probably a steal right now. So hopefully, this thing can hold somewhere around the 786. If the market continues to kind of do what it's doing right now, I wouldn't be surprised if you do get some brief times where you do break below that 60 cent area. So, but Cardano's going to do good, bro. So I think it's one of those safer assets to be buying just because larger market cap was one of the few that were mentioned in regards to strategic reserve, right? So I think this is going to be probably one of your safer bets versus, our crazy meme coins and, maybe some of the other projects that have, utility and fundamentals behind them. I think ADA will probably be one of the bigger ones that I would probably keep an eye on. So thank you again, bro. If any more projects, let me know. We'll definitely pull them up. Demon said if it goes up, I'll use the money for Toshi. Jake said stablecoins are safe. Yeah, I mean, they are safe, right? They are safe. Gina said call. Bullish, what's going on, brother? Call right now has been holding pretty strong. I keep telling you guys, I've been buying in when we drop down to the support level. I've done it already a few times where if it drops down to about 20 cents, I'm sorry, the 20 mark, not the 20 cents. We want to see it go to 20 cents, right? But if it goes down to that 20 mark, it's usually been a good spot where it's bounced multiple times, even though you can see that the tops are getting a little bit lower each time. If you can take advantage of that area, the 20 mark or below, in my opinion, I think that's a good spot to be DCA and on call, and I for sure am going to be buying in. I sold at around this top right here. I haven't bought back in yet. I'm kind of waiting to see if we're going to come back down towards this 20 level or maybe briefly below. And yeah, definitely going to be moving my some assets into there. I even jumped out when last time I sold out of here. I moved it out of Crow just because I was like is fluctuating too much right now. So I moved out of Crow and I have it in USDC on the Chronos network for right now, waiting to kind of just buy back in on call. So that 20 mark, Gina, or below is what we're looking for in regards to accumulating for right now. And then if we start moving up, that's when we'll talk about maybe price points to look for on the way up. Jake said, Crip, you think I can pick up XRP at $1.60 at some point in the next month or two? I mean, bro, that's anyone's guess, right? XRP right now. XRP's been holding, as strong as it can, right? Given what the environment that we're in right now, you're still holding that $2 mark. It looks like it has briefly dropped down to 199, and then the other day we saw it down to about 195. But you can see every time we drop below 2, it just keeps getting eaten up, right? So a lot of eyes are on XRP, right? XRP was one of those altcoins that were mentioned in regards to some kind of a reserve. So just like ADA, just like XRP, if you do get the opportunity of sub $2, those are probably good price points to dollar cost average in my opinion. Is it going to drop down to $1.60? Let me tell you this. If this thing goes down to $1.60, that means that we're probably going to be, Bitcoin's probably going to be in the $60,000 marks, right? So I don't know if we want, XRP going down that low, because that just means that the market has gone down even crazier more amounts, right? And that's something that I wanted to bring up as well, is like right now we're getting beautiful buy-in points, right? Can it get worse? 100%. And the reason why, right now TA, it does not matter. And you guys remember me saying this just like 2-3 weeks ago. I said this. I said TA doesn't matter. If you notice, I haven't been really going like, oh, at this point, that point, obviously I'm giving you guys like on certain projects below the 200A on Cardano, stuff like that. Those are good spots to be DCA in. But as far as like TA for Bitcoin right now, we are at the mercy of everything that's going on that has nothing to do with Bitcoin, right? And that's what sucks. And it's the same thing across the board for pretty much every investment right now. Even the freaking housing market right now is still giving signals that there could be a big crash coming for the housing market, right? And that's a whole nother story that we can talk about another time. But a lot of things are flashing like red alert, and it's just like it stinks. But if you have the dry powder per se on buying some of these things, this is where people become millionaires, in my opinion. This is where people, whether it's housing, whether it's Bitcoin, whether it's whatever assets that you're thinking about that have been absolutely devastated in the last few months, these are the times that are hard to buy, but people are like, damn, I wish I would have bought, right? Damn, I wish I would have picked up Cardano at 50 cents. Damn, I wish I would have picked up Solana at $1.18 right now. Damn, I wish I wouldn't have sold my Jasmy at 1 freaking cent. Look at this, Jasmy at 1.2 cents. This is something I've been keeping an eye on as well. If Jasmy breaks below a cent, bro, I already told you guys I'm going crazy on Jasmy, right? Going crazy on Jasmy. Another thing to keep in mind, and this is not to scare everybody, but right now our market cap for crypto is at we'll call it 2.6 trillion right now. Our high in this space, we were at 3.7 trillion, right? That means $1.1 trillion has exited the building. 1.1 trillion has exited the building in the last few months for crypto. Absolutely insane. And if it's even worse on the stock market. It's even worse on the stock market right now. Absolutely crazy, bro. So, it is what it is. And like I said, I understand. If you're not built for this life right now, it can get emotional. It can get rough where you're just like, bro, I can't hit the buy button right now. But you look back at some of these stories where people, they're talking to you, or they're making YouTube videos and they're millionaires. These are when the people were buying in, when either no one knew about the projects or everybody was scared shitless to buy in. And these are just my opinions, right? Like I said, we don't know what tomorrow is going to bring, but we know where Bitcoin's headed. We know where 90% of well, not 90, but majority of the crypto, as long as they have a good community or they have fundamentals, utility, whatever the case is, we know where they're headed, right? So it's a rough patch that we're going through as of right now. It really is. So Koktoshi, what's going on, brother? Love the name. Red Rum said it's over. The devastation. Bullish that he's DCAing on everything right now. Everything. You pointed out he's buying. Owen said my Myro and ladies took a lot of a beating. Oh, bro, I know. That, bro, Miro at 1.6 cents right now, absolutely crazy, and it's up 3.5% right now. That's what's crazy. It's like it's the only thing on my watch list right now that's in the green, and this thing is, and don't get fooled, it's down 95% in the last like 2 months. Absolutely crazy. And Ladies was up. Let's pull that chart up. Ladies was up earlier today. I could have sworn I saw Ladies was in like the green. And let me get rid of this freaking arrow. Who puts a big arrow right there on their chart like that? Dude, my puppy is like flipping out. So I mean, really, honestly, Ladies is down like crazy. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it. But it's really, I mean, compared to a lot of other stuff, it looks like in the last 2 weeks, it's at least been holding. You know, I think a lot of the sellers are gone, right? You just don't have a lot of buyers right now is what it is. So you're not really seeing much. We can pull up the volume on here, but you're not really seeing much of a dramatic move towards the downside, and obviously nowhere going towards the upside. Volume right now is, wow, it's actually at 10 million, which for Ladies is actually not too bad. It's up 80%. Like I said today, it was actually in the green before it started to nosedive. So, I mean, at least it's showing somewhat of some resilience in regards to where we're at right now. And, you know, a lot of alts right now, they've gotten to a point where they're at such a crazy price, but a lot of them are like at this line where they're like, we have to hold this or it's going to get like where we don't want to see some of these prices, right? You know, like what's crazy, ICP is in bear market prices right now. Like, I'm not even going to sugarcoat this. $5 ICP just wiped out all the gains for the last like 2 years, like almost 2 years. The last time it's been at this price has been in what is this, December of 2023. So it's been literally a year and a half, right, since it's been down in these prices. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. Another project that I am keeping my eye out on, ICP. If we get down to, I mean, we're already down to like some of these levels where right now, if I didn't own so much of some other projects, if this was particularly what I was looking for, right now, price-wise, beautiful, beautiful. Ricky said right now is a stable. Ladies is a stable coin. I mean, is that a bad thing? Not a bad thing in my opinion for right now. Pepe. I mean, remember, we're gonna pull up any of these meme coins and it's gonna look devastating, right? Like, there's nothing you can pull up right now that you're like, oh, all right. Pepe from its all-time high down about 80%. I mean, if we pulled up every meme coin, 80% actually isn't as bad as some of these other meme coins. Like I said, Miro, to make you feel a little better, I'm going to show you something real quick. But Pepe, support level coming, if it does drop down to that 44 level, is a big support level. This bounced off of here before it started to take off on Pepe. So keep an eye out on that. That 44 level is a spot to watch. For Miro, just going to show you how, you know, you look at Pepe and you're like, damn, but when you really compare it to some of these other projects, it's actually not as bad. Miro, 96.73% down. Pepe was at 79%. Look at this, 96% from its high. When I say that things, some of these projects are down to bare level prices, it's like, I mean, look at this. This is when Miro started. We're getting prices to buy back in. Crazy. Owen said, do you think are we still in a bull run, or are we looking at the barrel of a bear market? I still do believe that we're in a bull market, dude. Couple things that I will point out, and we've done this plenty of times, but I want to just bring it up to give you guys a little bit of hopium and understand that, you know, what we're seeing right now. Lexi, stop. Man, my dog. All right, so what we're seeing right now is stuff that we've seen far worse during a bull run, right? And I already have this from the last time we talked about this. This was a bull run, 2020, 2021, and look what we saw. We saw a 50% correction in Bitcoin right here. This was in the middle of a bull run, guys. In the middle of a bull run, we saw a 50% correction, right? So if I go to the top, which was an all-time high at the time, 65,000, and I go to the bottom, 55.57% drop from the high to the bottom, right? And that wasn't even the craziest thing. It was absolutely crazy, right? Because during this time, alts were even worse than what we're seeing right now, right? But this was in the middle of a bull run. Now, I always tell you guys, it wasn't necessarily the drop that absolutely really made people pull their hair out. It was the duration of time that we were down, right? And we were down for literally almost 12 weeks. That's 3 months, guys. 3 months that we were down. And look at all these fake outs that we saw during this, right? Look at all these fake outs that we saw where we dropped down to the abyss. Oh, look, we're bouncing. We dropped all the way down to 29. We ran up to 40. Oh, hell yeah. Right back down to 30. Right back up to 42. Right back down to 28. Damn, 28 was actually the bottom. 28,000. It was something, you want to talk about emotions? I keep bringing this up, guys, because what we're seeing right now is nothing far-fetched from what we've seen before, right? Nothing. It sucked being in this time. I was literally heavy in crypto during this time. And I was a newer investor at this time where I hadn't really seen something like this happen. You know, when I bought in, it was in 2020. We were just moving up, right? We saw a little bit of some corrections, you know, that were like, holy shit, but nothing like what we saw here. And we still haven't seen anything like this yet, you know? Hopefully we don't see that, because I feel like not half of you guys, but half of the market is probably going to literally just like turn crypto off and never come back, you know? And who cares? It doesn't affect us, right? Because we're always going to keep moving. But, you know, it puts that stigma on there that just people are like crypto's a scam or something, right? So if you look at what we just saw, 55% move, right? And we've done this already a couple times. We measure the top of where we've been to where we're at right now. We've only dropped 27.5%. And I know I say only, yes, it is a big drop. But we've only dropped, compared to that 55%, 27%, guys. 27. Could you imagine if we dropped another 25% on top of what we're at right now for Bitcoin? Could you fathom that? It would be crazy. But we did this during a bull run. Guys. Right? And I only bring this up because this is what we've seen before. We've seen this plenty of times, you know, where we're in the middle of a bull run and there's a massive retracement in the middle of the bull run, right? I think, like I said, it's the duration. How long are we going to be around these areas? How far down are we going to go? How long are we going to be in these areas? I think that's going to really play the biggest part in regards to you know, a lot of you guys, you know, if you're going to still be around when the dust clears, you know. And, you know, I understand, trust me, this isn't for everybody, but look what happened to everybody that after this time. Look what happened to everybody that did hold, right? They got rewarded for it. Yeah, it sucked. You had people looking at you like, I told you there was a bear market, right? During all this, and you had people like, I told you crypto was a scam. Or just, you know, you looking at your portfolio every day and seeing it was red and it was farther down. But look what happened after. They got rewarded, right? So, do I think that we're in we're in a bear market? No, I don't. Right? Now, you know, shit happens. You know, we can't say just because of that situation that's exactly what we're in right now at all, right? I'm just giving you guys reasons to stay bullish because we've seen this before. So I hope that helps you guys with all that. And keep your heads up, because you know what? People get rewarded, right? You get rewarded buying in at these prices. Not financial advice, just my opinion. You get rewarded for, you know, having patience and not letting your emotions take over everything. So, yep, I'm right here with you guys. Trust me, I'm right here with you guys. So let's Ricky says he's gonna be right here. Hell yeah. Bullish, you said what will be amazing if Bitcoin drops another 25%, bro? What are you trying to do to us, man? Jake said XRP is really the only coin that has helped its gains held its gains before Trump pump, right? I mean, in all due reality, I'm sure there's probably a few other ones, but yeah, you are correct. Because remember, it really wasn't even before Trump. It was like it started getting taken off before the election. But remember, XRP sat at 50 cents for like the last 2 years, you know? So, I mean, it is definitely, but it was being held down because of the SEC and all that stuff. So that's another reason why XRP kind of got back to its natural price, you know, and now it's holding because you got a lot of people that are still bullish holding long term for the XRP army. So Gina, Libra, beautiful buy zone, right? Like I said, TA does not matter right now whatsoever. TA does not matter whatsoever on these alts. So I mean, anything we pull up right now is at beautiful buying zones if you're long term for these projects, or if you're bullish on them, right? You're getting a spot 3 cents. I don't even think the chart doesn't even show us the last time Libra's been at 3 cents. Put it like that. So if you're bullish, you're getting an opportunity of your lifetime on Libra for sure. Excuse me. Jake said, I'll be here. I would never sell at this loss. This is a sell at a loss. This is investing. It's about long term. Though I don't know that is a good time to be buying quite yet. To each is your own. I completely understand, bro. But you're not going to be able, just like we can't time the top of the market, we're not going to be able to time the bottom, right? So it's like, with that being said, it's just like, you know, dollar cost averaging in, my opinion, is probably the safest bet for right now. Old saying, I'm about to do another too large on Cass. Hell yeah, bro. Bullish said Ryujin on Ethereum. Are people still trading DeFi right now? Excuse me. Holy crap. I hope I'm not getting sick, man. Whew. DeFi right now is you want to talk about a scarce place. So what I can say about this project particularly, I mean, market cap 7.8 million. So, I mean, decent for DeFi. Liquidity is at around $500,000. This project's I mean, it's definitely, it's been out for over a year now. So volume to be expected right now, low 86,000. What I would say is a good little spot for DCAing, or if you're trying to look for a bounce, would be somewhere around the 67 mark. You can see it's held here a couple times for some support. The only thing I would say is if this continues to find this as support, this 67 level, it's eventually going to break towards the downside, right? So that's why right now DeFi is obviously the riskiest of the risks, because, you know, it's just everything small cap, and right now volume on DeFi has completely almost halted, you know? So it's just like, but it's going to come back, right? You already know how it works. You know, it's going to come back whenever the traditional market starts running back up, you know? So a project like this, if it can survive, which, I mean, it's got the money to, it looks like it probably will. These would be the times, like I said, even for your other projects that are on the traditional market, would be good times to be looking for some of these spots to DCA in. So not financial advice, at 67.85 right there or below would probably be a good spot that I would be looking to accumulate on here. Art, crab with knife. What's going on? That thing kind of cratered, didn't it? I mean, it jumped up like crazy, but even, you know, something like this, you can see it's on its way back down for the most part. Volume has dropped down like crazy again, right? I mean, this thing, when it was running, was having solid 50 to $100,000 days. It's back down to these like little $2,000 days. And the last time it did this, it eventually went dormant for a very long time. So be cautious buying in on some of these projects and not financial advice. Freaking Memecoins down to $9 million market cap. That one hurts. That one hurts right there. So Bitcoin's volatility rises after Trump's Bitcoin reserve and options expire. So we talked about the options. This was last week. And we're going to briefly skim through this. So after briefly reclaiming 90,000 last week, a sell the news reaction to developments like the U.S. Strategic Bitcoin Reserve and the White House Crypto Summit drove a pullback, erasing earlier gains, according to the last Bitfinex alpha report shared with crypto.news. Adding to the volatility, $3 billion in Bitcoin and Ethereum options contracts expired last Friday, triggering a significant price swing. The option market saw realized volatility surge above 80%, with implied volatility jumping to 35.7% ahead of the summit as traders hedge positions. I think a lot of people were calling the crypto summit like a buy the rumor, sell the news kind of event, which we already know that's always crypto, right? That's always crypto. It's always doesn't mean that it tanks after necessarily, but we're always going to see those crazy bump ups. And then, as a time or right before anything, the halving, you name it, we see the sell off, right? Because people are just kind of capitalizing off that stuff. So that's always going to be in any investment for the most part, especially with crypto, right? So, and then uncertainty in the broader economy is also contributing to the market's hesitancy. The U.S. job market remains strong with 151,000 jobs added in February, but the unemployment rate ticked up to 4.1% amid government job cuts. Wage growth remains robust, but inflationary pressures and trade disruptions pose risk to economic stability. The manufacturing sector faces challenges with new tariffs raising production costs and slowing new orders. Meanwhile, the regulatory shift could reshape the crypto landscape. President Donald Trump's strategic Bitcoin reserve now holds 185,000 Bitcoin, worth $13 billion, signaling a shift in U.S. policy from selling seized Bitcoin to retaining it as a national asset. So, obviously, we already know. If you missed it, with the Bitcoin strategic reserve, they didn't insinuate that they were buying anymore for right now. We do have a lot of that stuff, a lot of calls from some of the like Loomis and some of the other senators that are pro crypto that are saying that they want to see something like that get in place, where it's like a regulatory thing where the government's just buying Bitcoin. Michael Saylor, if you guys saw that, he actually was trying to, and he still is trying to pressure Trump and the government to pick up to 25% of the circulating supply of Bitcoin in the next 5 years, which is crazy, right? But what we're getting to is the reserve basically was saying for right now, we're not going to buy any Bitcoin, which that's what a lot of people were like, oh, they were thinking that we were going to see some kind of regulatory buys, right? Whether they be every month, every year, whatever the case is. We didn't see that yet. But what we saw was that the seized Bitcoin from the Silk Road obviously is 100% safe now, being part of that reserve where it's not going to go anywhere. So you're talking $13 billion worth of Bitcoin is basically locked for the U.S. government as of now, with potentially them purchasing more crypto Bitcoin down the road, right? So, excuse me. So, I mean, with that being said, like I've said this plenty of times, we've had a lot of bullish news in the last few weeks, right? But unfortunately, with a lot of macro stuff, it cannot withstand a lot of the stuff. El Salvador stares down the IMF, which IMF is basically like the most powerful bank across the world. They're the bank that funds governments, right? And they basically been dangling, I think it's like $8 billion over El Salvador's head. And El Salvador, they said, we want you to stop buying Bitcoin. And El Salvador basically was like, pick up more Bitcoin, please. and they've been continuously buying more Bitcoin. It's not been in massive amounts, but they've been buying Bitcoin very regularly, right? And especially after the IMF has been really trying to tell them not to, they've been continuing to buy. And another thing too that I've been finding out, guys, listen, I wonder if it's on our Twitter. I'm going to pull this. We'll talk about this real quick. But, while a lot of people have been selling, right? Mostly retail have been selling. The big players on the back end have been accumulating Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, you name it. They've been buying by the boatloads, right? And this is all This has all been verified because they're following the wallets. Big players have been buying off while everybody's been selling off because they know what we're going through right now is temporary. Temporary. Could be 2 months down the road, but it's all temporary, right? And the big money, they can hold out. They don't have to worry about emotions, right? They can hold out. They have the funds to do it. And that's what they've been doing. Trump's Liberty Financial, they've been accumulating daily Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, a couple of these miscellaneous projects that kind of gets you scratching your head like, do they know something, right? On Arcam, I believe that's what it's called on Twitter. You can go and look up their wallets, but they've been accumulating a lot. And it's not just them. It's been across the board. These big money makers have been buying up on Bitcoin particularly. So this right here, I wanted to point out, not, the most bullish thing we've seen, but what does it say? So Bitcoin just made the biggest weekly price drop in history with $13,561 red candle. Holy crap. Let's pull up the weekly real quick. The biggest weekly red candle in Bitcoin's history, excuse me, was just made. It was right here. Oops, I did not. Damn it. I don't know what I just touched there. Oh, it was a support level. I've been doing my leverage trading. I'm just going to leave that there for right now. But look at this red candle. This is on the weekly, guys. On the flipping weekly right here. $13,500 for the weekly, down 15.3% on the weekly, right? Biggest red candle in Bitcoin's history, guys. Bitcoin's history. Absolutely crazy times that we're in right now. And let's see here. I wanted to pull up, let me see if it's on here. There he is. If you guys aren't following this page, I encourage you to follow this Arcam. This is where we get a lot of our information in regards to just basically if you're ever wondering like where the big wallets are, they literally track all the big wallets across the interwebs, and they're really good at like just providing information. So let's see here. 5 hours. Sailor is selling. Oh, look at this. Sailor is selling $2.21 billion worth of shares to buy Bitcoin. And it's crazy. It's Michael Saylor. He says this all the time. People are like, why the hell don't you wait for dips to buy? And he's like, because I know where Bitcoin's headed. He's like, I don't have time to time it. I just buy when I can, right? Because it takes some time to gather the funds for the next purchase, right? Well, right now, beautiful time to be buying per Saylor. And you can see they're saying that he's basically selling $21 billion worth of his share strategy, and basically going to be buying and converting that over into Bitcoin, which on the back end will bring up his the strategy probably price eventually, right, as Bitcoin moves up. Let me see here. If there's any other.
So that's the plan with the 200,000 Bitcoin that we believe are in the. So that's the plan with the 200,000 Bitcoin that we believe are in the possession of the federal government. I say we believe because no one really knows for sure because we never had a proper audit. So that's one of the first things that this executive order provides, that we're going to do a full government-wide audit to find out what digital assets we actually have, so they can be safeguarded and moved into a strategy that maximizes their long-term value. So that's the plan with the 200,000 Bitcoin.
That's pretty much what we talked about, a little while ago. I mean, with them, basically locking up that Bitcoin for now, it's safe. We don't have to worry about that being sold. So, and this is the government's wallet right here. The U.S. government right here. Look at this. Literally, this is the wallet, if you guys can see. I wonder if I can zoom in. Can't. But you guys can see Bitcoin as of this post, excuse me, which was from a few days ago. Bitcoin, they owed 198,000. Bitcoin, 56,000 Ethereum. They have 122 million Tether stablecoin. They have 750, excuse me, guys. I'm so sorry. 750 wrapped Bitcoin. They have 40,000 BNB. Wrapped BNB 22,000. What is this? OS DC. I don't even know what that is. So you can see what the government right now holds. Really, the two main things that they hold. Well, I guess three is Bitcoin, Ethereum, and BNB as far as other than stable coins. So it's crazy. Yeah. So check out Arkham. This is a dope little X spot. Did you guys see that X was down today? It got hacked as of today. A lot of crazy shit's been going on. It's absolutely crazy. Art said, wait, what did Art say? I bet they are. Shit, it was free. It was. It really was. But you know what? They got it from hacks. Like from like big hacks, they were able to get it, seize it, and at least they're not selling it, right? So they should give everybody in America like how much would that be? If they own 200,000 Bitcoin, what would that be, like a third of a Bitcoin? Nah, it would be like a lot less. They should just hold it, right? Because if they hand it out, everybody's gonna be selling that shit. Excuse me. I think that's pretty much it, guys. That's pretty much it. All I can say is, listen, keep your heads up. You see that nice little fear and greed. Where's it at? Fear and greed index right there. 17. Perfect time, in my opinion, to be accumulating, guys. But we're going to be fine. Hopefully, I mean, we're just waiting any day now. Hopefully, hopefully it doesn't get drawn out. Someone call Trump and just tell him, like, bro, get this figured out. All right? Get it figured out. Because we're not going to be sitting here for 3 months dealing with this. Right? So, Old said, everybody hold the line. We'll be all right. We'll be good. I'm going to tell you, me personally, like I said, not financial advice, just been just accumulating. I feel like this is temporary and we're going to get past this. So, with that being said, guys, I appreciate, bro, shout out to everybody in the chat, mostly everybody. Everybody's in the green. Tomorrow we will have another members only stream as well. And I'm going to be talking about some big picks that I'm going to be, that I'm definitely looking at as far as just accumulating right now, especially hopefully the market's still down when I can do this. So, but guys, keep your heads up. Have a good night. We'll be fine. We'll be back here tomorrow. All right, guys? All right. I'll see you guys later. See ya. Oh, real quick, Flip. Shout out to Flip. Thank you so much for the super chat, brother. All right.